everyone, welcome to Gosport Railworks. My name's James and today we're doing another locomotive review. This time we're looking at the new Bachmann N-Scale Toby from the Thomas the Tank Engine range. And we've also got Scruffy as well, also from Thomas the Tank Engine range as well, just to have a look at them as well. But let's get all the boring stuff out of the way. So I'll put Toby and Scruffy over here, where they can sit by our side. And we'll have a look at Toby's product code, which is Toby the Tram Engine, item number 58794, and we'll have a look at Scruffy now, which is Ruffy or Scruffy, item number of 77092. And inside of Toby's box, we have the warranty sheet, which we won't have a look at because nobody likes reading them. And then I think it also has some operating instructions as well. Let me have a quick look. Just to double check, because I haven't had a look at these as well. That's the warranty. Yeah, it just looks like it is just warranty in 2 languages. So there we go. I still have read that. And on the other piece of paper, we have the exploded diagram. And we'll have a quick look at this, in fact. Because we have got the motor here. It tells you how to remove the body, which is... I think it's 1 or 2 screws. Let me just have a quick look at him. Yeah, it seems to be, well, it's the same type of chassis as Thomas and that lot, but there is 2 screws down in these little cavities in between the wheels somewhere. I have to have a double check which one it is. Looks like the rear one. And that's how you get his body off. And this does look like it's a flywheel, which I'm quite pleased with because it means he should run quite nicely. And since he's quite box shaped, there should be enough space inside him to put a motor. Not motor, a decoder. He's already got a motor. So I'll pop you over there, out of the way, and let's see how heavy they are. So let me just get this started. So we'll have a look at Scruffy, who is 5.6 grams. That's quite nice. And Toby, who does feel quite heavy, is 33.5 grams. So he is just over a Mark 1 coat. Which is nice to see. He does actually feel quite heavy for his size. He's very heavy, so there's a big chunk of weight in there. And let's have a look at Scruffy first, who has got a bit more interesting detail than Toby for the moment. And he has got his face here, as you can clearly see. Strange enough, he has got NEM pockets. Maybe they're NEM pockets. They look like... They very much look like NEM pockets. Let me just have a quick go. Yes, they are NEM pockets, which is quite nice to see. And they are a bit firm, but they do work. And they have got very nice pivot there, so quite nice to see. Metal wheels. Bright orange underframe. Bright orange detailing work on the side here, and on the side it does quite legibly say SC Ruffy and Co. Ballast Contractors, Tidmouth, Sodor, which is quite nice. And on the inside he does have the planking moulding is on the inside as well, on the sides and also underneath. And that's pretty much it really. I think these could have been painted black on the ends, just to match with most other buffers, but it's not too much of a downside. And he only costs about £20, or was it £24? It may have cost a bit more because he's a bit more different from normal troublesome trucks. So yes, and not too sure what that is. I think that's just a loose bit of... Yeah, maybe just been a bit of flash. So we won't take that from quality standards because I don't think they'll... Let me just check. Yeah, they're fairly free rolling. This one's not quite as much. May just need a bit of cleaning. So I'll have a look at that at some point. But there we go. A bit more force when he does start moving. Now on to Toby. And yeah, he's got his happy face on the front here. He's got his light on the front there, and also light on the back. He is a class, I think class 7, J70 or something like that. I may be slightly wrong, but he's a tram engine. And I will be telling you a bit more about him in a moment, but he's got his side skirts on the side here, and his cowcatcher there. Don't think this is a NEM pocket, because I don't tend to put NEM pockets on locomotives for some strange reason. He has got 6 coupled wheels. In fact, I don't know, the wheels are completely coupled inside, so all the wheels do provide some traction. Got a little smoke funnel here. He's got his bell. No, never too sure what that was or what these are. I think they're just well, that's probably rigging for the bell, and I have no idea what that ever was. Even when I watched the series, I still had no idea what it ever was. Inside, there's no interior because it's completely box-shaped inside. He has got planking on the side, which matches him quite correctly. And buffers are... buffer beams are painted bright red and black buffers, which you can remove, I think. I'm not going to try to. I should probably not do that. And his handrails, well, they're only moulded detail. They are painted in a very lovely gold colour. And his 7 on the side is quite cleanly and also neatly printed on the side of him. And his face looks, well, it looks like Toby, really. Yeah, and under frame, well, there's not really much to talk about under frame. It's just all working parts, and it's basically built to last, really. So yeah, very happy with him. Anyway, I want to get him and also Scruffy onto the turntable and tell you a bit more about Toby himself, and not bother with a troublesome truck because he's a troublesome truck. And then we'll get him onto layout and see how much he can pull. So I'll see you in a bit. Toby is a brown tram engine who works on the North Western Railway and is the railway's number 7 engine. Toby originally worked on a tramway in East Anglia, however was later brought to Sodor after his line closed down to run the tramroad to Farquhar Quarry. Toby was built by James Holden at the Great Eastern Railway's Stratford Works in Stratford, London around 1914. He originally lived at a harbour in East Anglia with his brothers. Sometime between 1945 and 1946, Toby was chosen to be an attraction at a seaside village festival and was repainted and polished for the event. However, after helping their branch line's engine and seeing how smart he looked, the branch line was afraid that he would show them up and did not let him join in the festival. After that, he worked on an unnamed railway in East Anglia. In 1951, Toby came to work on the quarry at Thomas's branch line after his tramway closed, as it was found to be illegal for Thomas to go on the quarry tram road without side plates or cowcatchers. Toby is based on the LNER Class J70 steam tram engine. The idea for Toby came to Reverend Audrey in 1951 during his family's annual summer holiday in Gorston, Norfolk. Wilbur and Christopher Audrey were wandering around nearby Great Yarmouth when they came upon a dilapidated tram engine and became friends with its crew and took some photographs of it. Both father and son were intrigued by what Wilbur would later describe as a funny little engine with a queer shape. When the holiday was over, Wilbur began looking for ways to incorporate a tram engine into the railway series. It is of note that Wilbur wanted to go on holiday to Taiwan in 1951, but Margaret Audrey had already booked the holiday to Gorston. Had Wilbur visited Taiwan that year, it is possible that Toby would never have been created in the railway series. Well, here we are with Toby and also Scruffy now on my layout, and I've also got my 8 Mark 1 coaches for the test rake to see how much Toby can pull. But yeah, first of all, let's check the slow speed of Toby. But unfortunately, since he's got side skirts on, we can't actually see how well, no, his wheels go round. So do excuse that, but that's how Toby is. So this is under DC, because I don't have a DCC chip in him, unfortunately. And slowly revving up, and that's Ooh, and he stalled a bit there. Let's sort that out. He's not wanting to go slowly. There we go. I think that's probably the slowest reliable speed you can get out of him. On DC anyway. And in reverse. Ooh, stalled again. Come on, Toby, there we go. Yeah, that's not too bad. And let's just get him having a nice run around. That seems like a decent speed. Also to mention that he only cost about £80, which isn't really too bad. Considering that the usual price for engines is what, £100 plus. Wait for him to come out. There he is. And yeah, you can pick him up from Totally Thomas. And yeah, you can pick it. You can also get some of the other characters when they come into stock. Yeah, so it's quite nice. Alright, I'm just going to pop him on the outside curve now. And just a quick check on Scruffy. Yep. Yep, that's all we can do with Scruffy. Unfortunately, since he's just a wagon, that's pretty much all he has to do. And I did find out that there was some flash on the wheel. It's just the plastic insides of the wheels. There's a little bit of flash still left over from the moulding, and all you have to do really is just take the wheel out and then just clean it off and then just stick the wheel back in. It's perfectly fine. It's a slight quality control, very slight quality control issue, but it's not really that difficult to sort out. Anyway, on to Toby again. So here is Toby, and here is 8 Mark 1 coaches. Each one of these weighs 25 grams, which is a little bit less than Toby himself, who weighs 33.5. So it's not quite 10 times his own weight, but we'll say about 8 times his own weight, just to make it a rough number. So 8 times of Toby's weight. So let's see how well we can couple up. If I put them in the right gear. And that was a nice solid connection. I was quite happy, quite pleased with that. So he should be coupled up. Actually, look at the size of him. Size of Toby here. And a long rake going back there. Oh, that's going to look a bit silly, but oh well. So, ooh. And here we go. So he can pull 8 times his own weight. Let's see if he can get up the incline. He has no traction tyres, so this is all due to rail adhesion. And he just seems to keep going. He is slowing a little bit. Oh, he's slowing a bit more, but he is getting there. And he's over here. So yeah, I'll say 8 is probably pushing it as much as you can. So 8 Mark 1 coaches is the best you can do for Toby. And to be honest, considering how long that train is compared to him, I don't think you really need to do much more than that. Yeah, he seems rather happy there. Obviously I won't be making him pull this much on his own. In fact, I probably won't make him pull this much anyway. Probably 3 looks about right. But yeah, I'd say it's quite nice. Now, any downsides to Toby? Well, main thing is he hasn't got any NEM couplings, but well, NEM pockets. But considering he is marketed to children, I don't think that's really a downside. So not really that much of an issue. One thing which I have noticed with these models is the paintwork. Even though it's nice and crisp, it doesn't like to stay on. Because even here, the paint on, I've never worked out what this is. It's a little thinning, just because of me handling it. So I have noticed that on the lining of Thomas and James. Luckily Percy's been fine when installing DCC chips to them. You have to be very careful while handling them. So yeah, it may be a bit of a problem. So I'm not too sure if it's because my hands were sweaty because I was underneath the light or anything like that, but it is something to take into account. But luckily for Toby, most of his decorative paintwork seems like it's stuck on quite nicely. It always seems to be something thin, like lining or things like this. So when I'm disassembling him to stick in his chip, I'll be mindful of these thin lines on top. So yes, and Scruffy, I'm just going to probably fill with, I saw it in shot. Probably better if I zoom out. But yeah, with Scruffy, I'm just going to fill him up with some ballast, really, because he is for a ballast company. So yeah. And one other downside is, where is Henrietta? Toby's signature coat. Henrietta should be released right beside Toby. However, we haven't got Henrietta. So that is a downside to me, because normally you would see the two of them together. But instead I had to get Scruffy here, because, well, I need something else to buy with him, so yeah. So yeah, that is probably the most major downside, is that there's no Henrietta. So yeah. Like I said, Thomas has got Annie and Clarabelle. James, well, Percy has troublesome trucks. James didn't really come with anything. Scruffy came out on their own. Toby should have Henrietta, because those two were basically the pair who came together. But no. Well, hopefully in time we will get her, but otherwise Toby will have to just pull some trucks out, or I'll have to build her myself, which wouldn't surprise me. So yeah. So it's not really much of a down point, no, that Toby's not including another model, but it is something which you would expect with Toby. So yeah. Anyway, I'm going to probably wrap up the review now, but yeah, I think he's a rather nice little engine. No, for £80 he's quite worth it, and he seems quite durable. So you can probably knock him about a bit and he'll stay in one piece, which is ideal for small children or clumsy people like myself. Scruffy is a troublesome truck and will probably cause havoc on my layout somewhere. And yeah, I said £25, £80, I would say that's a fair amount for what you're getting, considering that they'd also have to pay for the licensing costs. So yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. But yeah, do let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like Toby? Do you like Scruffy? Do you not like them at all? Are you thinking that I'm completely strange that I'm a 30? No, I'm a man in my 30s and I'm still buying Thomas. But anyway, do let me know what you think in the comments. If you do like the video, feel free to like, comment and subscribe. And if you didn't like the video, I hope you enjoyed it anyway. Otherwise, I'm going to have a rest and then send Toby, and Scruffy can stay there. Yeah, Toby can go on his way. And yeah, that's pretty much it really. So yeah, I'll see you all again next time. So take care now. Bye-bye. There it goes. Bye-bye, Toby.